Yeah.
So last time, many people were asking that pain, congestion, flexibility is an issue. So I will cover few topics on that. Anybody, any question related to pain which I could cover here?
If anybody has questions, please raise your hand.
And just quick so that I could cover in this session.
Yes.
Though there will be more than one session for the on the pain.
Okay, so we have two hands raised. First is Sudesh Verma, and then Dr. Prabir Yogi. Anji, Sudesh ji, unmute कर लेना पहले.
जी सुदेश जी बोलें.
मेरे आपने कई बार बताया है कि भाई ब्लड प्रेशर को कैसे कंट्रोल करना इमीडिएटली भी और वैसे भी इन द लॉन्ग रन बाय एक्यूप्रेशर या और भी आयुर्वेदा से. और दूसरे अगर किसी को पैरों में सूजन हो जाती है तो उसके क्या रीजन है, उसका क्या इमीडिएट उपाय या लॉन्ग रन का उपाय, जरा वो भी अगर आप कवर कर सको अभी या बाद में, तो इट इज अप टू यू. Thank you very much, sir.
Lower part of the leg or the calf?
No, on पैरों में.
पूरे
ankles. Ankles is got
ankle.
all over the ankles, both the sides.
Okay. जी दादा बोलें.
प्रवीर जी, unmute कर लेना पहले. Unmute. हाँ जी.
Virendra, will you distinguish between what is called chronic pain and the pain coming from a specific wound or condition, or is the treatment the same for both?
There are some specifics. I will come to that. Thank you. So thank you everyone. So the pain is very common problem. Most of the time, it's very easy. Some of the time, it may be a little bit complex, but it depends what's your situation is and how much medications, how many medications you are taking with that. That also affect the treatment procedure or the therapy regime from Yoga Ayurveda perspective. And when I say Yoga Ayurveda perspective, it's not much different what you get in the form of pills and other. There is an environment that people think that it's very different. It encompasses, it includes all those regimes, what we are right now, and probably more, a lot more. So first of all, let me come to chronic pains. Many of the chronic pains happen because of your body constitution, because of your body element. So there are 3-4 kind of pains very common, related to back pain, related to shoulder pain, and many people have headache and all those related issues. And then chronic pain somewhere. Sometimes pain comes and goes. So one of the things which is very important to know, that your body element affects pain in your system. For example, if someone has cool element in their system and they use a lot of fermented things in the evening, so they are inviting trouble to themselves. related to weight, related to pain, related to growing cough or phlegm in the system. So they are inviting that. And because of that, there could be some pain. On the contrary, if someone has fire element in their system and they are using a lot of spices, a lot of other things related to fire, a lot of fries, a lot of chilies, a lot of all those things, especially red chilies. So they are inviting pain related to tummy, acid reflux, and all those things, digestion related issues. So they are inviting that trouble. So make sure you know your body element, and based on that, you should have a lifestyle. And these are the physical aspect I'm talking. There is also what I say, the software. These are, I'm talking about hardware. Hardware means physically you will feel pain somewhere. But there is a software issue as well related to your mental health. So मानसिक रूप से there could be a lot of trouble. For example, if fire element is a lot there and you are not using the compatible food, then aggression, judgment, all these things will be affected. And ultimately, your career or whatever will be affected by that. Because judgment is a big part. Decision making is a big part of that. So it happens in both categories. Same way you have, if wind element is very, very high in your system and you don't have compatible food or compatible lifestyle, then you are affected by that. And this I'm talking the lifestyle about 5 days a week. 2 days, I always give cheat sheet to people. So these are weekends and you can have good food, you can have good life. 1 or 2 days is fine, 1 or 2 meal is always fine. But majority of the days, 5 to 6 days, what you do, that affects you a lot. 1 meal is fine. So, and also there is a, I always put a lot of stress on pratyahar, and that always comes into my, because after that your awakening starts. Before that it's all physical, self-restraint, rules, postures, breathing exercises, pranayam. And then comes the pratyahar, the step of yoga, where from the mind perspective, from the mental perspective, the awakening starts. Where you start becoming master of yourself. So your mana is not a master anymore. Where you are the master of your mana. You are the master of your body and you decide how you want to live, what you want to eat. And basically your taste develop around that. It doesn't take long. Once you are at a pratyahar stage or senses withdrawal from subject, then if something is not good for you, you never crave for that. Your mana will understand that it is not good for you, it's bad. Craving happens or something happens when there is a physical force involved. You try to stop yourself उसमें बंदिश होती है। I always bring a quote to this, and I always give an example. There is a country in our neighbor. I don't want to mention the name and all those things. Where based on things are being done based on religious proclamations, laws are accordingly, and all those things are accordingly. And when they checked their Google history, they found in the world the highest browsing of porn site in that country. Because there is a physical force involved. So what they are browsing, it's on the Google review, and they are highest in the world. So a lot of rules, regulation, and all those, you know, based on something. But when the physical force involves, how people see from inside, how they reflect themselves. And fortunately or unfortunately, now you can see those statistics on Google. So think about the physical force when physical force was more. So same thing happens until you go to senses withdrawal from subject stage. Physical force doesn't work. There was a Mahatma, and he was living. महात्मा जी रोज पूजा पाठ करते थे। महात्मा जी के सामने एक बाई का कोठा था जिसमें नाच गाने तबले उबले ये सब बजते थे। शाम को महात्मा जी आरती करते थे और उसकी सारंगी वारंगी बजती थी, जो भी उसके ग्राहक आते होंगे। महात्मा जी अपना आरती कर रहे हैं, लेकिन महात्मा जी बार बार ये सोचते, उनका ध्यान रहता था कि उधर सारंगी बज रही है, तबले बज रहे हैं, नाच हो रहा है, लोग एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, और महात्मा जी आरती की घंटी कम, उस सारंगी की आवाज बहुत उनको, सारंगी हारमोनियम जो भी बहुत सुनाई देती थी। और ये जो बाई थी, ये जो वेश्या थी, और ये सोचते थे कि कितना आनंद है उसके जीवन में और लोगों के जीवन में जो लोग वहां जा रहे हैं। और ये जो नाचने वाली थी, शी वॉज थिंकिंग कि ईश्वर ने मुझे क्या अभिशाप दिया है कि मुझे ये काम करना पड़ रहा है। और सामने महात्मा जी हैं, देखो बेचारे, जब हमारे यहाँ ऐसा अभिशाप का काम होता है तो वो घंटी बजाते हैं, पूजा करते हैं, और कितना धन्य है उनका जीवन। तो वो उसका दिमाग रहता था कि पंडित जी के घंटी में, महात्मा जी के, वो नाचती थी लेकिन उसको घंटियों की आवाज सुनाई देती थी। बहुत दिनों बाद जब संजोग से दोनों की डेथ एक ही दिन हो गई। Someone is doing something. Oh, okay. Because the screen disappeared. So when the Devdut, Yamdut, they came, they took both. और सबसे पहले जो भी विश्वास, बिलीफ था, जो हेवन का दरवाजा खुला तो उसमें वेश्या को प्रवेश मिला। अब महात्मा जी बिगड़ गए। एक तो सन्यासी का जीवन, दूसरे बहुत सारा ईगो, अहंग, कि मेरा जीवन ऐसा रहा है। तो देवदूत ने उनको उनकी कहानी सुनाई कि भाई आपके जीवन में तो आदर्श चरित्र कभी रहा ही नहीं, आपका तो फिजिकल फोर्स रहा, और इसके जीवन में अभिशप्त चरित्र कभी रहा ही नहीं है. So many times I just wanted to quote, and the story is a little bigger, but I don't want to take a lot of time. I just want to give an example ki what physical force does to us. Temporarily, physically we are there, mentally we are not there. We are somewhere else. So that affects lot of chronic pain. Your first of all your element, and the other thing is your mental status, and also the way you take things. Until you are at the stage of senses withdrawal from subject, everyone knows the story of a glass half full, half empty. So everyone knows that. So it's the perspective. And perspective changing means you are master of yourself. You are at the pratyahar stage. Most of the time, physical force, as I said, doesn't work. It works temporarily, of course. It works physically. But you know, when you do this, when hypocrisy is embedded a lot in you, it makes knot, ग्रंथियां बनाता है ये. और कभी कभी आप सोचिए, lot of people come to me, and if they are honest, I ask them what kind of dream you see. So many times to know the person, you have to know their dreams. This is very difficult, the kind of society we live. So the dream tells many times, if the person is honest, sharing the dream. So make sure there are few things you can do to sort this out. As I said many times, that there are 3-4 things. First of all, your diet pattern. Everyone knows BAPS. If someone doesn't know, you don't need to speak, you can raise your hand. The BAPS, bitter, astringent, pungent, and then 3, sweet, sour, and salt. So these 6 tastes you have to have in your diet every day. And everyone knows where do you get bitter, where do you get bitter, and chili is 2 different things. Many people confuse with that. कड़वा होना और तीखा होना बड़ा फर्क है. Like bitter melon is kadwa, and chili is tikha. So distinguish that thing. So you need bitter in your system, you need astringent in your system, you need pungent in your system. Pungent we take a lot. The only thing we do, we fry it a lot. That's the problem happens. And then sweet, everyone knows. Sour, everyone knows. Salt, everyone knows. So make sure you have a balance of these 6 tastes in your diet every day. If you don't find bitter melon every day, methi is a good source of bitter. Fenugreek seed. So make sure you have that. But you can do that. Raw fruits sometimes do that job. They also do the job of astringent. There is one there is one fruit which is called Dev Phal in Sanatana, which we also know by Amla. So Amla has all 6 tastes. It encompasses most part of all the 6 tastes. So make sure if you miss something, you have to have that. Now there are few things you can do to charge your system. And I mentioned it many times. First, I always mention fasting. Fasting doesn't mean you do cruelty on yourself. So if you can live without water, that's okay. That's great. If you cannot live without water, go on juice, a liquid diet. You can't be on juice or liquid diet as well, go on soup diet. So 24 hour, 36 hour, once in 2 weeks, you should try that. Try to avoid sugar and salt, 1 in every 15 days. So 1 day, every 14, 15 days, without sugar or salt. Develop a taste. If you cannot live without that, just be on fruit diet. So you can choose what works for you based on that. The other thing you can do, I said different kind of oils. You can do massage your body. Different oils you can use. There are 4 or 5 kind of oils. Like most common are the mustard, the coconut, mustard, coconut, and there is also amla oil as well. So these 3 or 4 kind of oil you can use. Most of the time I suggested you should use mustard during winter time and coconut during summer time. So these are the massage, and the other one is til. So that's also important. So 3 or 4 kind of oils you can use for massage yourself. The one thing I don't know whether I mentioned it before or not, neti. So make sure you do neti. Neti means you can do with water. You can do what? First of all, people know neti. You don't need to unmute, just raise your hand. So neti, one neti is very common. You start water from your right nostril and dip it out from the left. Same way you start from this and you pour out from the right. That's called neti. So besides, and make sure you have some salt in that water. Now I saw a lot of stores, Western stores, they are carrying the neti pot and all those. You can also do sutra neti. So that's a little complex. So you put a little thread and take out from there, and the other one you put there, and then you clean it. So many nostril problems, sleep apnea problem, and many other problems, by sutra neti you can remove it. You can also at least twice a week, because we live in an environment where heat and cold is always on. So make sure you use little oil in your nostrils. Little bit oil always good in your ears, in your nostrils. Just put some oil. The best way is sit down on a chair, move your head up, put 1 to 2 drops, inhale. Same thing, other nostril, put 1 to 2 drops and inhale. So that you can do. The other charging part is called cold and hot bath. So you have to have both kind of bath, once in 15 days or once every month, whatever your comfort level is. You can take hot water bath, and once you can take a cold water bath. Make sure don't make it too cold or too hot, whatever you can bear. That also helps. So these kind of 3-4 charging system are there in yoga, which resolves some of the issue. Everyone knows morning water they have to take. Some of the time you have to have turmeric in your system, ginger, all those things you find in your kitchen, that should be in your system. Once you do these parts, then other thing I advised many times, you have to do bellows breath to kick out many toxins, which is called Kapalbhati. So everyone knows Kapalbhati, or do I need to show that? Let me first explain how to do Kapalbhati. So very easy. You should be in Gyan or Dhyan Mudra, this one. So sit down cross leg. If you cannot sit down in cross leg, just take a chair and make sure your back is straight. When I say back is straight, means back head, spine, lower part of his spine in one line. They align together. So when you sit down in this posture, you have to exhale your breath with a force. So like, I'll show you how the tummy situation is. And as I suggested, no need, if you cannot sit down cross-leg, don't force yourself. People can see me?
Yes, we can.
You don't need to see my face, just I want to show how. Now you can sit down either in lotus pose, is half lotus, or easy pose, cross leg, whatever you feel comfortable. Okay, so you sit down in this pose. I just want to show you how the tummy look like when you do Kapalbhati. So hands on the side. That's how the tummy should be. With a thrust, you try to exhale. Inhale happens itself. So that's the way you do Kapalbhati, bellows breath. So make sure you do some, at least, if you want to see the benefits, at least 300 times, you should try doing Kapalbhati, bellows breath. It sheds off a lot of toxins. Besides, hold a sec, I'm trying to connect something. Besides So besides pain and other thing, it's very good pranayam for many ailment related to blood circulation, related to blood pressure, diabetes, and many things. Most of the organs inside your tummy, they get resolved. Also, many times you have blocked nostrils and all those issues get addressed. But make sure you do 300, 400 times a day. It's not difficult to do. I do 1500 every day. Not every day. Nowadays, I'm doing alternate days. So because one day I'm running. So I used to do every day, but now one day I run, one day I do the pranayam and some exercises. And make sure the frequency is, you should do 50 to 60 times in 1 minute. That's how you should regulate. 50 to 60 times. If you cannot do that fast, you can go down a little bit less. But ideally 50 to 60 times. Why I am telling this? Because sometimes people do too fast. In that case, you might injure few things if you are starting. I do very fast, but I'm doing for like, I don't know, 30 years. I exactly don't remember when I started, but 30, 40 years I'm doing this. I do very fast. Normally I do 150 times, probably in 1 minute, 145, 150 times. But also I do multiple things, and I have 45 minutes set for my exercise, 45, 1 hour. If I do everything, I have to rush. I have to do fast. But you should never do this, because my muscles are already pre-made for that. They are ready to do that. They are ready to take that. So you should always go 50 to 60 times per minute. And 50 to 60 times means probably 1 in each second. The sequence is very easy. And once you continue doing this after a certain time, you exactly know it's already 50 to 60 times each minute. So basically, you will be done in about 6 to 7 minutes. To remove the heat and cold imbalance in your system between fire and sun, fire and moon, you can do alternate breathing. These I'm trying to tell you to address the software part of the pain. So make sure you do alternate breathing. You inhale from left, exhale from right, inhale from right, exhale from left. Again, you have to do this 18 to 25 cycle. So one cycle is inhale, and I shown multiple times, but one more time, don't do this way. Many people do this way. You always do this way. So your front should be open. So you inhale from left. Always start from left, inhale. And then go this way. Exhale from right. Now again, inhale from left. No, sorry, inhale from right once you exhale. And then exhale from left. So inhale from left, exhale from right, inhale from right, exhale from left is one cycle. So make sure you do 18 to 25 cycles depending on your situation. You should be done within around 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, this one. So you should develop a regime, how much time you have, and based on that, you do that. One pain at the hardware part, I suggested many times that you lie down on the floor on your back. So always do that so that your vertebral column is aligned. Don't use pillow, just your carpet is fine. So lie down, hands on your side. If you are doing yoga nidra, then you are doing by itself. If you do yoga nidra and you feel pain, most of the time your vertebral column, your spine is not aligned. So alignment is a problem, and which is very common. There is nothing to worry. The kind of bed we use, we always get unaligned spine. That's fine. But make sure you do that. You also do alignment by doing inhale and exhale. So you inhale, as I suggested many times, breathing enhancement. When you inhale, your spine goes up, it stretches. When you exhale, it shrinks. So make sure you do that. Besides that, there are few postures you can try. Sometimes pain happens because of allergy problem and other problem too. But make sure you do the software part and some hardware part. Besides that, you have 6 kind of taste and you have some sound system as well. So one of the very common sound system. Now it depends on the pain. So, for example, if it is lower back always hurts, it means it's the root part. And there is a sound I suggested for root part is lung. So that sounds also resolve the pain issues around lower part. So lung, watch this carefully. So in one breath, I did 3 to 4 times. So what I'm trying to do here, when you do the sound Om, Om sound travels from root to crown. It does not stop in the middle. As you close your mouth, the sound starts traveling upward. It starts from the root and goes all the way to your crown. That sound is very helpful. But since it's a generic sound, it is very popular. In yoga, there are 9 kind of sounds. So now if you do any sound besides even Om, it always goes up. Om does maximum travel and maximum vibration. That's why Om has been evolved and developed. It's a developed sound. Also, as I suggested many times, these sounds and these other things has nothing to do with any belief system. It's a science. So the other sound is breathing enhancement. And I gave you 4 ways of you feel different part of your lung. That I mentioned multiple times. So you should do that. If you are comfortable, there is, I think bow pose may be a little difficult, but I always suggested 2 poses to awaken your root. One is Uttan Padasana, you lie down on your back, you raise your legs up. Most of the lower part of pain or spine pain you resolve by that. Same thing you do locust pose, lie down on your tummy. Next session I will show you. I had shown multiple times, I remember, but make sure you see one more time. If you already have existing back pain, then you should not move both legs up. You should start with one leg, one at a time. So right is up, then start bringing down. Next session I will show you. There is also very common pain, which is very common to people, which is called sciatica pain. So sciatica pain we will address, and I will give you a tip. How do you know that? Through checking groove of lower part of your spine, you can figure out what kind of sciatica pain you have. So these are the things. Lot more to cover on this subject. This was very preliminary. I will have 1 or 2 more sessions on this. I open the floor for questions.
Anji, Prabir ji, you're mute.
Virendra, 2 related questions. Pain is a natural reaction of your body to a condition, right?
Yeah.
The related question is this idea of taking a pill or a drug to suppress the pain. Is this a very modern allopathic idea? Or, I mean, obviously 100 years ago in India, nobody had Tylenol or aspirin tablets to take.
The idea is not new, actually. But earlier, there was not a medication. There is no foreign element involved.
Okay.
So if you know acupressure, there are a few points here. And many times I do that when someone has unbearable pain, I press 1 point 30, 40 times. They had the same effect as Tylenol. So suppressing pain through medication or even through acupressure, both are not advisable. But certainly through acupressure, a lot more better because you don't have any foreign drug or foreign element involved in your system. Now, what problem it does, first of all, if pain is really unbearable, it really helps. That's fine at that time. But for every small little thing, you have to have Tylenol. And I told you many times, I noticed some of my friends, on regular basis, they take Tylenol. Anything happens, just take a Tylenol.
Because, you know, chronic pain is usually low-level persistent pain.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's why you have the massage therapy, I give many. You have to lie down on, you have to align your bones, your spine. You have to kick out heat and cold in your system. If it is imbalanced, many times, you know why this happens? Because it accumulates at one place, especially cold. So kick out cold is very important. And what happens when you have little flu and you start taking medication, it does not kick out the cold element.
Okay.
So what happens? It stays in your system and reflect again through fever or something. If you keep suppressing it, you will have allergy problem. First, it will display on your skin, and then you are in bigger trouble. So make sure, especially cold, let it be gone naturally until unless it is not life-threatening. If it is life-threatening, you need medication. There is no question on that. But For every small little flu, small little fever, small little pain, go back to medication. You are basically inviting more trouble. Anybody else?
Yes.
I hope I answered.
Yeah.
Okay, Madhu Dilip Desai.
जी मधु।
नमस्कार भारती जी।
नमस्ते।
मैं योगा तो दररोज करती हूँ, लेकिन जब भी मैं कपालभाति करती हूँ तो मेरा ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है, तो मैंने वो छोड़ दिया। बाकी का सब ओमकार, भ्रष्टरिका, अनुलोम विलोम, ब्राह्मणी, अगेन ओमकार, एंड ऑफ दिस टू, बट वो कपालभाति मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ, तो उसका कोई कारण? कई दफे मैंने प्रयत्न किया है, लाइक 1 मंथ किया, बाद में नहीं किया, और फिर से शुरू किया जो ब्लड प्रेशर हाई हो गया, तो वैसे करती रही, लेकिन ऐसा परिणाम आया कि जब भी मैं कपालभाति करती हूँ प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है।
It's very common.
Yeah.
Kapalbhati, after Kapalbhati, shooting pressure a little bit up is common. If it is not life-threatening, make sure you do one thing. You have to start taking black tea in the morning. Just black tea. Make sure you don't put any sugar, don't put any milk or any. I'm not talking about Indian tea or latte. I'm talking, you take real leaf, real black leaf, and even if you don't boil, that's fine. Boil the water, put about 10 leaves in the cup, pour the water, and put a lid on that. In 3-4 minutes, all those leaves will open. You will see the real leaf of the tea. Slowly drink that tea and make sure you do after that. After 10-15 minutes after that, your speed should not be more than 30 per minute. And you should have a slow pace.
Right.
So your pace should be in about 6 to 9 weeks, depending condition is genetically associated or phenotypic associated. Maximum in 9 to 12 months, you should be good to go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next question from Suman Singh.
But one more, sorry, Sudeshi.
Yeah.
Before that, एक और चीज बताना था देसाई जी को. At the end of the day, the Kapalbhati will help you address your blood pressure issue.
Oh, okay.
So Kapalbhati is very helpful, but make sure you know the way how to do it, because during Kapalbhati, shooting up blood pressure is very common. Make sure it does not go to life-threatening level. So few things, little bit water in the system, little bit black tea in the system helps you.
After black tea, I should do it, or before?
About 10 minutes after.
10 minutes after, okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Virendra ji, can I just add to whatever you said about, and Madhuji, your question? I would think that any physical activity, whenever you do, whether you run, you do Kapalbhati, you do any physical activity, your pulse rate, your blood pressure always would go up.
Yeah.
Now it is a conditioning too. If you do the same exercise every day, initially your blood pressure, your pulse rate, your respiratory rate, everything would be up. But once you get used to this and condition your body, like Virendra Bhai says, that he does a lot of things which you and I can't do it because he's conditioned. His body is conditioned. So same way, if you do the same activity in a slower pace, but build up yourself, and with the time, you would see that your blood pressure, your pulse rate, everything would remain the same. It always goes up, it's a physiological thing. blood pressure is not under your control. Any physical activity, your blood pressure is going to go up and your pulse rate. So I just wanted to mention that it's the conditioning as well. You know, you do it the same activity in a slower pace, build up yourself, and I'm sure you'll be able to do all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Virendra.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next
so,
one.
So yeah, that's
Is
what.
it okay?
Sorry, go ahead.
You're mute. Can you?
Unmute yourself.
हाँ, अब कैसा है? ठीक है?
हाँ, सुनाई दे रहा है, बोलें।
अच्छा। नमस्कार।
नमस्ते।
डॉक्टर भारती जी, आपने एक बार बताया था कि पानी जो है कापर बर्तन में रख के रात को तो सुबह उसमें पिए। तो मेरे पास छोटा सा है, तो उसमें मैं रात को रख दिया करूं और सुबह वो पानी पिए तो ठीक रहेगा?
जी ठीक है, एकदम अच्छा।
थैंक यू। एंड अगर बड़े से जग में रखे दिन भर तो वो भी ठीक है?
हाँ, वो भी ठीक है।
तो
उसमें कापर अगर हो,
कापर आपके क्या है?
कापर आपके सिस्टम को अल्कलाइन बनाता है।
अच्छा, ठीक है। और
बहुत सारी मानसिक और शारीरिक बीमारियों से आपको मुक्त करता है।
थैंक यू। एंड दूसरा है कि मैं आई हैव एसिड रिफ्लक्स, लेकिन अपने चाय में मैं इलायची, अदरक एंड क्लोव, लौंग डाल के चाय बना के पीती हूँ और हल्दी डाल के। तो ये ठीक है फिर?
वो ठीक है, but in any case, the moment you put tea leaves, your acidity will go up. No matter what you put. Yes, if you put ginger and other things, it will reduce a bit. But anyway, if caffeine is there,
लेकिन एक कप चाय तो थोड़ा जरूरी है। एक कप चाय सुबह लेती हूँ और दिन भर नहीं लेती हूँ।
That's okay. You can have something with that. Either take a biscuit or something, or have something, a carrot or a little apple before that.
Oh, thank you.
So that's how you reduce the acidity level.
अच्छा, ठीक है, बस यही सवाल था।
If you take only tea, it will flare up your acidity.
ठीक है, यही सवाल था।
Many times acidity is not bad, I tell you.
अच्छा।
If your body has cold in the system, acidity is very good. You need acidity. You need it to flare it up, to digest.
अच्छा, ठीक है, ठीक है। Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bharti. I don't have any more raised hands.
Thank you, everyone. Let's do our prayer. May all be happy. May all be disease-free. May all see good in others. May none suffer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kasyid dukh bhag bhave. God bless you all.